Okay, so folks, what we're going to talk about is the off the top of my head project. And this basically started off with you doing your tracings. We chose tracings from different expression. And this was to help you understand what expression looks like. So initially, students didn't really get what does expression look like at all. What does your face do? So these help quite a bit. So you did, what did you do, 6 tracings? Then we're going to move on to pics of you. So these pictures are basically your front, back, and side view. This is going to help you figure out what you look like. Even though you stare at yourself in the mirror all the time and you send a bunch of pics around, you don't know what you look like. Especially proportion and location of features. This is a great example, like where your ear is located. Ears, eyes, things like that. We did our mini portrait to help basically focus on the eyes, which sets everything else. So we have this, we have this. Now we're moving on to developing ideas. We basically have our head, and we're going to use a pedestal this year that's sort of like a peg. You're going to be a peg head. So eyes go in the middle, and we basically divide up the head into parts and make sure your features have correct location. So it's more or less realistic in that sense. So you're learning about proportion. What we want to do now is make it more about you and things you're excited about and creativity. We're again looking towards our level 4 creativity. So when we develop ideas, we're going to use something like this flow map. This flow map will be on your board, and it basically shows your kind of main idea and then supporting ideas. And it just kind of goes along that way to help you figure out. It's just a way of thinking and sort of like in a math class, showing your work on paper. So I need to see what's in your head. Even though it's a little scary, that's what we need to see. You're going to develop 3 different ideas that might look something like this. This was a student from last semester or last year, and she's basically showing with this method, you're not going to draw on this little green sheet, but she's showing with this method 3 different ideas that might work for her. We're trying to get into this creative and what are you about, but how can you expand on it? So like if you're a Smoky Hill cheerleader, it doesn't just need to be, look, I'm a cheerleader. It becomes a little too cliche. Like, I'm at a comprehensive high school, I'm a cheerleader, blah, blah, blah. It's like High School Movie. Okay, I'm gagging right now. Not just for cheerleading, but any of it. It's just, it's just kind of boring. Also, I see it over and over, so it's more boring for me. But we want to get out of these cliche ideas. So like, if you're that soccer player, maybe you're going to develop that a little more. Typically, cliche means it's the first or second or third thing you thought of right away. Oh my God, I know what I'm doing. Right, of course you do. Totally cliche. Everybody thinks of the same thing over and over. It's not creative, period. So you want to dig a little deeper and push those ideas. So what's important here is that you have a good idea, but what's more important is that you understand how to develop good ideas and better ideas. That's what's really important here, that you develop better ideas. Those are things you can take with you from this class. These are good examples, 2 examples of level 4 creativity. I kind of think level 5. So this one, she kind of worked with, first of all, some facial expression. That makes it a little more challenging. Then she started adding stuff. We talked about level 4 glazing. Shades of a color, variations of a color, layering of colors, just like your food project. No layering, no variations, no shading, no level 4, no full points. Same thing here. So she started doing this, and I didn't really get it. I thought, okay, blue hair, fine. Then she added the white, and I still kind of didn't really see it. There was a lot of these around. Then she added the shells. So now we get that it's like waves crashing and shells coming up. And she added real shells, which I thought was a really nice touch. So this one's kind of like totally beyond level 4 for our class. I love this one. Then the pedestals can be painted to match, if you like. So here's another one. This one's kind of fun. It also helps if your person's staring, looking, moving, gives you some movement when you look at it. This is kind of like we're adding text, we're adding words, it's floating above, a lot of hot glue involved, that's okay. We've got the brain, expression, features, and again, I think very much kind of level 5, like taking it up even another notch. We've tried to really establish what creativity is and how to get more creative. Also in here, you can even see with the eyes. Not layering the eyes is helpful. We'll talk about that with glazing, but not layering and putting colors next to each other is extremely helpful so that your eyes don't get all runny. Sort of like when you paint your eyebrows on and it's raining during the fire drill. Ah! So this is our basic run through. Now I'm going to stop our video and then go to class questions.